how much danger is your party in here if this triple whammy of increases in the cost of living go through? To what extent could your party lose touch, not just with your traditional voters, but those red wall voters who drove your majority in 2019?
Oh, completely, I think. I mean, you're talking about 40-something seats, I think it's 48, that they count as red wall. I mean, odd definition. But
so if you lose those, you have to double it because then they would go to Labour. There's your 80 seat.
We're gone.
There's a 90 seat majority gone.
And the nightmare is we wouldn't lose to Labour. We'd lose to a coalition of Labour and SNP.
So the UK's integrity,
everything. Right? Yeah. So it's really serious. And we start from the point that there's no Jeremy Corbyn. You know, I mean, whatever you say about Keir Starmer,
he's more credible than Jeremy Corbyn.
He may not be very great at dispatch box and all that, but he's not a threat. I had an ex-Tory minister, retired one now, saying to me the other day, if I woke up in the morning and Jeremy Corbyn was Prime Minister, I wouldn't break into a sweat. Now, that's very worrying for us. Very worrying.
If Keir Starmer was Prime Minister.
Sorry,
and look at the front bench. Rachel Reeves, former Bank of England economist.
Yeah.
Yvette Cooper, very experienced person from a moderate wing of the Labour Party as Shadow Home Secretary. They've got credible people on the front bench now who could give you guys a run for their money.
That's right. And what I would say to our own side is don't patronise the northern voter. You know, when I was knocking on those doors, you talk about welders and bricklayers and lorry drivers. They may not have 2 degrees, they may not, they may not have all the qualifications, but they're just as smart as you and me when it comes to looking at what they're going to have to pay. You know, they forgive my language, they can see through just as well as you and I can. And so we've got to treat them like conventional Tories. They want to have low taxes. They want to have decent services too, but they want to have low taxes, And when we're talking about all the levelling up stuff, let's use a bit of economic sense while we're at it. I mean, and actually the north of England has been underinvested for a long, long time. The Treasury rules basically worked against it. It means there are lots of opportunities to do things like debottleneck railway lines, improve this, that and the other in terms of the infrastructure, and to get fast economic returns. And we can do that. We've got to use our heads and we've got to use our imagination to make sure we deliver what we led them to think we were going to deliver. Levelling up, but also sensible, low-tax conservatism, which they then will support. Bear in mind, before the 1930s, the Tory party grew off the back of working-class classes.
Indeed.
And it can do so again.